Godzilla, from a man wearing a skin suit to an animated version to epic 3D models shown on the big screen. One thing is certain, this kaiju can really rule them all. But there is one media landscape that the king of monsters has not dominated yet: anime. Well, don't get me wrong, it tried with Godzilla, Planet of the Monsters, Godzilla, City on the Edge of Battle, and Godzilla, the Planet Eater. As you can see, this anime series trilogy scored very poorly on the audience score and the tomato meter. But fear not, a new contender has arrived to tame this unconquerable landscape with its thick size: Godzilla Singular Point. An anime co-produced by two powerhouse animation studios, Studio Bones, who made absolute bangers like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Mob Psycho 100, My Hero Academia, and Noragami, and Orange, another animation studio who is pushing the limits of the anime medium by using 3D animation. Some of their anime releases are Beastars and Trigun Stampede, which was widely praised by its audiences. I mean, with these two studios, there's no way that this anime could fail. Before the anime was released on Netflix, Legendary Pictures released their third film from the MonsterVerse franchise, called Godzilla King of the Monsters. And all they have to do is follow the footsteps of that film and ride the hype of the fans, and just take two giant monsters and let them beat the crap out of each other. But no, they saw that movie and said, we need to add more science bullshit and less of the title character, which is Godzilla himself. Don't get me wrong, there are still plenty of things to like about this anime, but the negatives outweigh the positives. Let's talk about the positives first. This anime has a banger opening. The opening song was performed by Bish and is titled In Case. Here, listen to this. If that doesn't hook you, I don't know what will. In terms of an anime opening, that's the most anime it can get. You know, the animation of this anime is nothing to scoff at either. It combines 3D animation with 2D elements really well, with vibrant colors popping out at different scenes. The different designs of the kaijus taking inspiration from the original classic movies are well portrayed in this series, showing off the new designs for Rodan, Anguirus, Manda, and of course Godzilla, and the fan favorite Jet Jaguar. There's even a new kaiju added to this series, Salunga. Whenever these mech or monsters are on the screen, you can't help but fixate on them and stand in awe at how beautifully animated these things are. Unfortunately, these elements couldn't save the anime from its abysmal storyline and its portrayal of the king of the monsters. Now let's talk about the negatives. This anime is named after Godzilla, and it showed less of him. And even when Godzilla was shown on screen, you can't see the full body shot of this magnificent kaiju. Why? Because 90% of the time, he is covered in red dust. How am I supposed to see them take ties if they are covered in red dust most of his screen time? All jokes aside, I think the version of Godzilla looks terrifying. It's like Legendary Godzilla and Shin Godzilla had a baby and abandoned it because it was so occupied with snorting the red dust rather than destroying the world. The story sounds very interesting, in concept that is. This is an excerpt from the website wikizilla.org about the plot of this anime, and I quote, "As strange creatures begin terrorizing the globe, Yoon and Mei must work with different groups of allies to avoid a disastrous future at the hands of the apocalyptic creature known as Godzilla. Sounds very interesting, right? Well, it could have been if the story is done right, but no. This anime series is more concerned with teaching you a science lesson than showing you a gigantic laser spitting reptile abomination fighting a robot with magical powers, which is what the fans wanted. The story is so badly written that the characters that are supposed to be smart act stupid to further the plot of the episode. Here are a few examples of this. The main protagonist, Yoon, created a radio wave emitter and attached it to their vehicle. They drive away from the city so that the Radons terrorizing it will follow them. But these smartasses didn't even bring anything to kill the flock of the Rodans. So, the writers have to step in and give them the thickest plot armor and kill all the Radon because apparently they haven't evolved yet to live outside the red mist. I mean, this plot armor is apparently so thick they could fly out of the bike like this. Another example of this stupidity is when Yoon and his friends start tracking Angerus through the woods and they know this creature is big and possibly carnivorous and possibly hostile, and they still didn't bring anything to defend themselves or even ask the military in the area for help. It's like their fight or flight response is broken at times. Actually, this series has a lot of characters with a broken fight or flight response, like these people, or this family, or these people in the buildings, or these reporters. None of them are in a hurry to evacuate, they're just chilling. Speaking of fight, I'm not gonna lie, the fight scenes in this anime are really not that bad, except for the final fight, which we will get into a bit. But the highlight of this anime is when Jet Jaguar is throwing down with different kaijus like the aforementioned Radon and Angerus. It even gets to fight spiders with the Rimuru slime inside of it. It's these moments in the anime where I was really engaged because this is what Godzilla was supposed to be. It was done beautifully in the animated series and it was done magnificently in the movies. I don't know what the writers were snorting that they suddenly want to change the formula, but I'm sorry, it did not work. Maybe it's the red dust, maybe that's where they found the ideas. The ending fight was so anticlimactic, and I kid you not, it lasted for only 2 minutes. 2 minutes of Jet Jaguar saying his monologue while fighting Godzilla, explaining that he is the key to defeating Godzilla and preventing the catastrophe, only to be pierced by the atomic breath on his chest, and then self-destructing, releasing these blue spike crystals, banishing this thick-ass kaiju to God knows where. And that's it. Imagine if this happened in the Monsterverse movies, where Godzilla is fighting Ghidorah or even Kong, and as soon as they touched, both of them explode, and the movie ends. Can you imagine the outrage? This anime, yet again, missed the opportunity to show a Godzilla portrayed in an epic fight scene like the good old days in the classic Godzilla movies. Overall, this anime is really not that bad. There were moments when I was genuinely entertained and got me all hyped up. We can clearly see that there was a lot of effort put into this anime, but it totally missed its mark. The anime could have been better if they knew what the audience is looking for and created a good story around it. Instead, they went the opposite direction and created a story not focusing on the title character, which they didn't have to do in my own opinion. I wouldn't say that this anime is unwatchable, but simply, it was just disappointing. Thank you for watching this video, and if you want to see more videos of me ranting about anime or just talking about them in general, please hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.